You know, a lot of filmmakers complain about the kinds of deals that most distributors are willing to make with them, and that's why you have so many self-service
Right.
kinds of deals happening now. What are you offering filmmakers to entice them to go with you?
Wow, I'm on camera now, so I can't really necessarily talk about the intricacies of the deal, but I think we'll be.
Perhaps the overall structure in a general way, without specifying.
Well, in a general way, I think we're going to be offering um, an incredible amount of simplicity and transparency. So we're not going to be burdening the film with a lot of overhead costs because that's one of the complaints is you can enter into a deal and yes, maybe you're getting a 50-50 split on the deal, but there's so much costs of the overhead of the company and the production, the marketing, advertising that maybe not, but the filmmaker ends up not really making any money. So we're going to try to structure deals where it's fair and money flows back to the filmmakers. Albeit it may not be a huge amount of money, but I'm pretty bullish on the idea of all these alternative channels that are popping up. And so if you can have a diversified palette on where people can download or watch or receive the movie, that there might be all those channels seems to be growing in popularity.
What's your position on and what's your relationship in terms of VOD? I mean, that's what Magnolia has to offer. You know, they're your equivalent company that's associated with Landmark.
Right. At first I was against the compressed window of opening theatrical and VOD. I've changed my tune.
Like most exhibitors.
Yeah, but I really like Magnolia, and I think that they've done.
They book their films with you quite a bit. I suspect.
Yeah. And we've worked with them at Fantastic Fest a lot, and anecdotally, it's proved out that for smaller independent films, it really doesn't matter if it's going out on VOD or theatrical.
It doesn't have any impact on the local
again,
theatrical booking.
it's anecdotal, and you can't really say for
Depends on
sure.
who you ask what they say. You know what I mean?
I don't think it has a serious impact.
Okay.
And to go even one step further, I really like what they've innovated recently with the Ultra VOD. And Ultra VOD is a VOD only window at a higher ticket price than theatrical, than like a traditional movie ticket. So it's maybe a $12, $13 VOD download that happens before the theatrical window.
Yeah.
And now that I've gone through this process with Four Lions a little bit, realizing the entire point of the advertising campaign where I am right now, where we're taking Chris around the country, is to raise awareness with early adopters. That's what Ultra VOD does.
True.
So you get sort of the real fanatics out there watching it, and they will in turn sort of increase the size of your megaphone, and then theatrical happens. I think it'll help.
But you also get the marketing dollars from equivalent marketing promotional value from the cable system itself.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's really a matter of awareness that a film exists is your greatest challenge by opening something small. So this Ultra VOD concept, I think, really works for small films.
So who would your partner be for that?
Who would it be? We have a great relationship with Magnolia. We might work with them in a certain regard. So
that they could go through their cable partners. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So how is Four Lions going? You're on this promo tour to San Francisco, LA, Seattle.
Yep.
What are the other cities?
We're going to DC, Boston, and New York on the tour.
So that's tiring.
Well, we're only one day into it, so I'm still got plenty of energy. Talk to me in 5 days, and I might be a little sluggish.
What's the concept there? You're basically promoting the bookings in each city.
Yeah, Chris Morris, the director, has agreed to come along, and we're doing word-of-mouth screening in each market. And actually, Devin is coming along with this as well, and so he's doing a daily blog or diary from the road as to what's happening.
Now, why did you pick this movie in particular as your first? Were you looking when you were at Sundance? Were you looking for a film to buy?
No, I was not. I was at Sundance, and I was in part at Sundance to throw a party. I mean, it was a party to celebrate Down Terrace, which got sold to Magnolia during Fantastic Fest last year. And so we threw a party, and I saw Four Lions there. It was I actually didn't watch that many movies. I saw maybe 4 or 5 movies in Sundance. But I've been a huge fan of Chris Morris since the 90s. And
what are his other films that you admired?
well, he doesn't. This is his first feature, but
So you admired
TV.
what? Ah.
Yeah, so he's done really groundbreaking television. The Day to Day was kind of a fake news program several years before The Daily Show, but alarmingly similar. And then he did a show called Brass Eye, which is pre-Borat, with the same producer, with Iannucci, which was the same type of confrontational, getting politicians and celebrities to kind of almost make fools of themselves for his kind of satire. But it was much more politically driven. He's always been very political about his humor. And so I've found dubbed copies of those shows on VHS back in the day, and I've since bought the DVDs. So when I went to Sundance, there was 2 movies that I had to see. One was Exit Through the Gift Shop, and one was Four Lions. And I absolutely loved both of them. And when that was it, I was just going as a film fan. But then I just kept tabs on what was happening, and I knew that it got released in the UK, and there was still no US distributor. And maybe a month or so after that, we had been talking about the idea of Draft House Films for a little while, and it just came up in conversation over beer, really, that it's still out there, and that maybe this might be the one. And so that's when we started to initiate dialogue with Wild Bunch.
It's a really funny, deliciously nasty movie.
Yeah.
And totally inside your wheelhouse. I get it. So I can understand. At the same time, it's a terrorist comedy. I mean, it isn't an easy sell, I don't think.
No, I don't think it's an easy sell. And just the potentially controversial nature, and how afraid people are of Islam, and you hear the Salman Rushdie stories, and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law were petrified that I was crossing the line somehow, but I don't think that I am, because I think that the film is so respectful in a way. It's so thoroughly researched, and it's not an inflammatory piece. I think it could have been. It could have been.
No, there's a great deal of affection, and there's one character at least, but you sort of like them all. They're bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
But you find yourself fond of them, even the most egregious ones. But this is a movie that literally blows people up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it blows up a sheep. It's hysterical.
And that's what
brilliantly executed and acted, but I might add. Yeah.
Well, you're watching the movie and you start to identify with the characters, and they become humanized, and then you do care for them, and you're like, well, wait, they're jihadi suicide bombers, and I love that it makes your emotions go back and forth as to you're not really sure how you should feel about these guys, except maybe just a little sad.
So it's opening where in LA?
It's opening at the Landmark Regent in Westwood.
So you're an exhibitor making deals with other exhibitors now.
Well, we only have theaters in San Antonio, Houston,
whatever,
Winchester, and Austin. So if we're going to go outside of that, we have to make deals with other companies.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.